Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be comparing the Grand Wagoneer to the Infiniti QX80. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Jeep here in Sandy for giving me some time with the Grand Wagoneer. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. The Grand Wagoneer is a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed. It puts out 540 horsepower and then 521 pound-feet of torque. And then powering the QX80 is a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 9-speed. It puts out 450 horsepower and then 516 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now when it comes to style, I think that the Wagoneer definitely has more of a traditional style. You can see that the grille and everything is very reasonably sized. You got normal headlights, fog lights, all of that. The Infiniti has the split light design. It's got this very intricate looking grille. It's definitely gone for something completely different design-wise. But either way, they both look massive. Now both of these have 22s, and sorry about the Infiniti wheels being a little bit dirty. I had to drive through a dirt lot earlier today, but anyways, they both have fancy wheels. You can see nice body painted fender flares there on the Jeep, and then notice all the elements up top with both of them are all painted to match or contrast in black. So here's your side profile with the Grand Wagoneer, and then here is the QX80. Now when it comes to storage space, the QX80 only has one size. There's not like an extended version, so basically it's only Tahoe sized, or regular Wagoneer sized is another way to put it. You can adjust the suspension up and down with the QX80. You can raise and lower the third row. You can also just lower the second row. So there's lots of usability there. You've got an outlet here in the back too. But there's the cargo. Now the Jeep, just like GM SUVs, has two different sizes. This particular one is the L. You can also get a regular version. But with the third row, you can raise and lower it. You can lower down the second row. There's no button here in the back to raise or lower the rear suspension. But yeah, you do have options for storage, which is nice with the Jeep. This leads us inside of the QX80, and I really like the interior they have here. It's really cool looking. See fancy seats in the back. This one's loaded up. You got your climate controls. And by the way, these seats in the back have heated, cooled function, massage function, all of that. Got a little screen there for the back passengers. Now one downside is the third row in the QX80. It's really nice actually, but the legroom is limited because the floor here up front versus in the back is lower. So the back raises up, so then you're pushed up a bit and then your knees are pushed up and everything. Now fancy materials with the Jeep here, really tight fit and finish. And this one actually has a bench seat, which is interesting. You have your climate controls and everything there in the center. And then you'll notice here we've got TVs in the back. And I'll actually have to press this to show you guys the third row. Now you notice down below that, yeah, there's a flat floor all the way across. So that means that the passengers in the back of the Wagoneer have a bit more legroom and everything in terms of their knees not getting pushed up. And then they actually have a sunroof there in the back too. Now this leads us up front with the QX80. Nice little startup animation here that goes across the screen. But again, nice materials up front, just like in the back. Got stuff like memory seats, that's controls for the heads-up display and everything. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And these front seats, by the way, heated and cooled, massage function. Got little speakers there on the headrest, just like an Escalade. Paddles here on the back. You got nice finish with the controls here on the front. Got nice stitching around the airbag cover too. But yeah, full digital gauge cluster. If we pop it into reverse, we have a 360 camera system with this, and that's easy enough to use. Secondary screen down below for like the climate, basically, to control stuff like your heated, cooled seats and all of that. And this is for that adjustable suspension. And the center console area is interesting. It does have a cool box, which is nice, but pretty cool layout. There's storage underneath as well. We've got a camera, rear view mirror, and then a big panoramic sunroof. But yeah, I definitely like the material used through here. I think it feels very kind of like durable, premium in the normal Japanese fashion. You have to get into like a full-size Japanese SUV to understand. And now, this is for the Grand Wagoneer. You can see more traditional separation with the gauge cluster and the infotainment system. Really nice trim all across the dash. You've got a lot of controls here in the door panel for the seats. Again, heated, cooled, massaging seats up front. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Got fancy stitching around the airbag cover. You notice a lot of similarities with that. 360 camera system, just like you have with the Infiniti. And then you have this climate screen down below. That's lots of similarities. Air suspension adjustment, and even cool box center console. So it's kind of like they're copying each other, but no, as you can see, speakers in the headrest with this. Do have a camera rear view mirror and do have a big panoramic sunroof. Now, believe it or not, the Jeep is actually less expensive at just over $107,000. The Infiniti is $114,000. Jeep is trying to massively undercut Cadillac with their pricing. But anyways, so let's take them out and see which one performs the best. And start off in the Grand Wagoneer. Now, I really like the Grand Wagoneer. I think that a lot of people that buy Escalades should buy this instead. Because, again, if you're gonna get like the long version, because it's just like, it has such a nice interior. It's got all the features. I think it has a much better interior than an Escalade, and it drives better too. But man, people that buy luxury cars are brand snobs. They want to have Cadillac on the front end instead of having Wagoneer. So here's what I would say is a super big strong point of the Grand Wagoneer, and that's the engine. It has a twin turbo 3-liter inline 6, and it's got so much power. It is a very cool engine, and it just great smooth power delivery. Turbo inline 6s are pretty much as good as V8s when it comes to how smooth they are with their power delivery. And then the suspension, the air suspension is comfortable too, so that's another plus. Let's move this forward a little bit. And just it's a comfortable ride. I think they've done quite well. And turn-in's also great. I will say the one thing that Jeep could do is improve the comfort with the air suspension. This is a comfortable vehicle, but it doesn't feel quite as comfortable as the air suspension system in like an Escalade, for example, and we'll compare to the QX80 in a moment. But gosh, the powertrain's just this wall of torque. It's quite impressive. So we should be able to get a big acceleration here. Woo! Yeah, it's a rocket ship. It's really cool. So overall, this is a great full-size luxury SUV, tons of space, and it's cool you can get it in 2 different size configurations, L or non-L. So you've got options, and again, the pricing on this is just so good. And yeah, you can tell they're really trying to undercut the Escalade. But let's go check out the QX80. QX80. So I will say the seats are a bit more comfortable right off the bat. They're tighter though, so kind of pick and choose. Now, I just compared this to a Yukon not so long ago, and I get the same feeling in this compared to the Wagoneer as I got in the Yukon. There we go. Where, excuse me, this feels like a much smaller, lighter, more nimble vehicle. Now, again, I've driven a regular Wagoneer. The regular Wagoneer doesn't feel that much different than the L. It seems like this is that's just kind of the tuning they did for this, is instead of focusing on all-out luxury, they just kind of, it's still a big, you know, full-size SUV, but it's kind of also something that's easy to drive around. Yeah, it just doesn't, it feels more like Land Cruiser size than it does Tahoe size, even though it is a Tahoe, you know, not a direct competitor, but you know, in that size category segment, whatever you want to call it. So not as comfortable as the Wagoneer with the suspension, but comfortable enough. And handling is definitely sharper. It just feels like a much smaller vehicle. I like the V6. I like that inline 6 so much. This V6 is really good though. It's got great low end torque, smooth. The 9-speed's smooth as well. It's just a lot to appreciate with this powertrain. Okay, we should be good. Doesn't quite have the top end rip that the Wagoneer has. Again, that inline 6 just rips your face off to redline, which is really cool. But this is still very impressive. Yeah, it's not bad at all. So, some things up with this comparison. Now that I've had a chance to compare this against a GM SUV and against the Wagoneer, I feel like it's just different buyers. Again, obviously if you want the longer trunk space, then yeah, you're gonna have to go for something else besides the QX80. But this is kind of like a more of a middle ground, right? Because when you go up to Wagoneer, when you go up to Tahoe, it's like you got to accept that you're driving a truck SUV. Like, it feels that way. This, it still has kind of more of a lightweight, more nimble feel, similar to you know, it's other big SUVs, but not quite as big as Tahoe and stuff. So that's kind of my 2 cents. Is you still get space in this, which is great, but you do get much better driving dynamics. And I do like the Japanese build quality, interior and everything. These interiors hold up much better than the American counterparts, including Jeep, in terms of just the wear, the materials show and everything. Just kind of the name of the game. But let me know your thoughts.